I think it's a lot of people out there that like that.
Yeah.
Maybe even worse. That might be like, motherfuckers like, yo, I can wash these underwear. This is the outfit.
Oh, well.
We live now.
Oh,
anything else you need from me?
You didn't need if you want to cash in, you can only cash in all three to drop a dime. Each penny is worth 30 seconds worth of uninterrupted time. But if you hold on to all three pennies, you can cash in and drop a dime where you get 2 minutes completely solid.
Oh, not 90 seconds.
Yeah. You would have added 30 seconds.
30 seconds of all three.
30
Well, it's
seconds.
gonna be a gambling table and no goddamn
All right,
time.
I know.
Yeah, because you gotta find
Well,
the
for
one
me,
you really wanna put
for
your
damn sure.
Hey, so we live, so I actually
We live on.
all right, so we
live
live
on
Live on Instagram.
That's too hot, ain't it?
Not safe for is and SFE.
I'm trying to figure out if I should.
Happy Super Bowl Sunday! How the song go? Super Bowl Sunday! Wasn't there a song that was with it? Remember back in the day? Who remember that? It had like a
Bam, 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 bam,
It was like Super
bam.
Bowl.
Yeah,
Super
something
was
like
a Monday night.
Bam.
Monday night football.
What?
Yeah,
We might lose
Super
our-
Bowl Monday night.
Our sponsors?
No, so we might lose our invite to that one joint.
Hey, you want to brush your hair?
Yeah. Huh?
Oh, yeah, shit. You might I don't want to lose my
Super
invite.
Bowl Sunday.
All
All right. So,
Damn, how we do that?
is he doing good for the blacks? Is that
Did
just
you
saying?
call him your president though?
Listen, he's the president. I didn't pick him, but he is the president.
He's not my
We need to
president.
respect that
Kiss
he's the
my
current
ass.
incumbent.
So that's how we're starting the show?
That's how we're starting
No,
the show.
we can't
Thank you,
start
Trump,
like that.
for
Yo,
allowing
hold on, it's
black
going
guys.
down again.
No, I'm not thanking him for shit.
All right, so we popped the bottles. Let's start off by introducing the
Go for it.
tabletop here from the right. My man Danny. Danny, we'll give him your handle in case they want to follow you and look at your muscles.
Name's Danny.
See, I niggas don't like that shit. Motherfucker crack smile like
He did say his right arm was bigger than his left, though.
Huh?
Huh? You didn't. You said that earlier, right? You said your right arm, or does it look stronger or
I
something?
think you're having a dream. You
Oh,
remember
really?
that?
Oh,
Remember
really?
that dream?
Oh, okay. Oh, now you're gonna do that?
Give me a handle.
You can't push your insecurities on other people. So,
Ooh.
Instagram is Danny_Lips.
All right. And for the sake of just being easier, Marvin, you go, Danny. Stand up.
Okay. My name is Marvin. You can catch me on Instagram at MG2_fit. Just a fitness motivator. Try to also get in motivational speaking, but linked up with these four gentlemen, and we're gonna rock y'all world like we usually.
I said just a handle. This motherfucker.
He said,
It's the glasses.
Right.
Y'all see the glasses, right? They
Glasses,
smooth
my
as
bad,
shit.
my bad.
No, we all good.
So,
we all
at
good.
what point did you know you wanted to be a motivation?
We also got to the right of me, my man Denzel. Denzel, give me your handle.
Denzel Skywalker. I never really have anything to say in the beginning. I save it for the topics. I save it for the topics. And so, go ahead, Nick. You got it.
And last but not least, the greatest motherfucker ever. No, Nicky Nick with the K on Instagram. So are we jumping right into the topics, guys, or do you want to bring up anything from the week? What's going on?
Oh, thanks everybody who hit us up and basically said you like what we doing, gave us a little critique.
Yes, thank you.
I really
so
appreciate
much.
that.
Greatly appreciate it.
And it's been more people than I expected. I'm really
Yeah.
excited about that.
Yeah.
Make sure if you haven't told a friend, make sure you tell a friend to tell a friend. We don't get paid for doing this, but we want to make sure that we create some value. We want to make sure that we bring you a good time. It is pure entertainment. Everything you see is unfiltered, uncensored, unrehearsed. So we're not.
And this
rehearsed.
is
I don't even
freshly
know that
squeezed
word.
blood orange juice. Freshly squeezed blood orange juice. I watched them squeeze it.
All right, and
He got it at Aldi.
let me
Cost me $9.
let me go ahead and add this dynamic to the viewers.
We
real
sitting
quick.
up. We sitting up.
All right, so to everybody who's tuning in, this is something new that we're doing.
No.
Everybody's given 3 pennies for their thoughts. Each penny is 30 seconds worth of uninterrupted time. I can't never say that word right. Pardon me.
You got it, man.
So each one is worth 30 seconds. At the end or at any point in time, if you decide you want to cash in all 3 pennies, we calling it dropping a dime.
Dropping a
And
dime.
when you drop the dime, you cash in all 3 pennies for 2 minutes. Two whole minutes uninterrupted.
You will never see me drop a dime because I got too much shit to say.
Now remember he said that, okay?
I'm dropping 1 penny at a time, no dimes.
We see that. All right. If you say so. But remember, you did say that. Never.
I remember, I said it.
Okay. All right.
This penny's about to be 50 seconds.
All right, let's go.
So we jump right to the top.
Let's go.
All right, so do we want to talk anything about Super Bowl? Any kind of prediction stuff?
There's some stuff in there. It's in there.
And then, okay,
It's
so
all
good.
in there.
Well, I mean,
All right,
if we don't,
We
we
can start off with predictions.
Real quick,
Ooh.
just predictions. Maybe a 30-second reason why.
I pray the Eagles win, even though Tom Brady is the
Eagles
quarterback ever. Even though he's the greatest quarterback ever, I pray Eagles.
Eagles win. All right, so you're going with the
Eagles.
Eagles.
Eagles win. Go ahead, Danny. You next.
I really hope the Eagles win. Like, I hate the Eagles. You know, the old folks from PA, we chose a side. Decided to go with the black and gold, but I can't live in a world with another Patriots Super Bowl. Not this soon.
Damn.
All right. I understand. Yeah, I understand. What about
Football man.
All right. So me, my prediction. I want the Eagles to go all the way 27-24. Beat them by 3 points. Drop their
Ooh,
heel.
we got another one.
Hold up, in the clutch though, where Tom Brady can't make his comeback.
I like that.
Oh.
Now, is it
That's what I
because
want.
we want to see people climbing light poles in Philly? Is that what we want?
Yeah.
Hey, look, I wouldn't be opposed to see it.
Did you hear
Oh
about
yeah,
that?
free
Did you hear
big
about
milk,
We could let
bitch.
New England win, and then they'll just be yelling racial slurs in Boston.
They're going to do it either way.
Yeah,
Come on, that's not going to
yeah.
stop a good time for New England. Hey, I also heard they're playing at Meek Mill. Hold up, wait a minute.
Yeah, they are supposed to be
I heard
playing
that.
that.
You hear about
But
that?
yeah,
I heard that.
Yo,
I
where
heard
Well,
y'all, where y'all watching?
that. I mean, it's not going to be the whole
I told
song.
y'all what I
wanted.
I saw it on the ground.
I told you guys what I wanted, but my realistic prediction is Patriots winning 21 to 10.
21 times.
Why 21-10? That's a terrible. The Super
think
Bowl
they can get
always.
60?
The Super Bowl is always high scoring.
No, it's not.
It
No.
is.
It's actually
I
literally
don't
not.
think- I don't
You're
think
literally
so.
wrong.
Because that's where
Yeah, it's
defenses
actually-
win games. That's where.
This is the difference
Championship.
between football fans.
Every time that the Ravens
About
go,
to be
every time the
roasted.
Ravens go to the Super Bowl, we score like 40 points.
The Ravens? I want the Ravens to win.
Those are the games I remember.
Is it too late for the Ravens?
So how many points y'all scored in 2001, bro? When y'all were a defensive team. Like, I'm pretty sure it was like, wasn't it like something like 3? It was a beautiful game for a football fan, but if you were a casual high scoring fan, it was atrocious.
So y'all mean to tell me, hold up,
Giants never
the
got
Ravens aren't in the Super Bowl today? Did I wear this jersey for no motherfucking reason? Is that what's going on?
Yeah,
No. I thought the Ravens were. Alright, anyway, let's jump into
Look,
it.
I'm with you, bro.
My man, look. Talking about. We talking about. And look at this.
No, the motherfucker, don't put the jersey down.
That's
Put the jersey
I like
down.
my shirt, y'all. I like the shirt. You know what I mean?
Hey, I like my
Listen,
shirt. Hey,
you're allowed. Listen, you're allowed to wear your jersey
Hold on,
when your
hold
team makes the playoffs.
I got Bruce Lee.
No,
I got
Kill Bill.
Kill Bill.
Kill Bill, Bruce Lee.
I got all that.
Steelers.
Which
Y'all
one
let
is
us know.
It's not Steelers.
Is it Kill Bill Bruce Lee?
Hey, look, my
That's his new nickname.
second shirt, me over everything. Shout out to my man Kendrick. So,
Kendrick,
Shout out.
what
Shout
up?
out.
What
Shout
up?
out.
appreciate that, bro.
Shout out to
let's
my
get-
man Trey Palomalu.
Alright, so let's jump into the topics.
Let's get in.
All
All right, so picking from the cup.
This is good as shit, though.
It is what it is, and it's gonna be what it's gonna be.
This is perfect. God
You
damn.
want some more Johnny Walker?
All right, so
Alright, so we picked the first topic.
first topic:
Let's see.
should marriages be on what? Be on a 10-year contract?
Is that what the question?
Is that what the question is?
Fuck, what?
That's my question, guys.
Oh,
That's my
I thought
question.
Should
That's my
marriages,
question.
should marriages be on a 10-year
Should,
contract?
all right, right now marriages are like supposed to be like till the end, till death do you part, indefinitely, right?
Right.
My
Should you be able to
God.
come back and revise it?
Let's let them talk, yo, because I got so many rebuttals.
Listen. I'm not trying to say it should be. It's
No,
just
no,
a,
go
it's a
ahead.
thought
I'm
experiment.
Are
Go ahead, it's a thought
you using your
experiment.
phone? I use it for the timer. Can you use your phone?
Oh yeah, you need the buzzer.
I have the buzzer. I just need a timer.
You don't need the timer. I'm not putting the thing. Yo, listen. All right, marriages
Put a time on it.
possibly should be on a 10-year
I got
contract.
full
Why?
pocket.
Why should they be on a 10-year contract? What's good about that? If you think about it, right? People get in marriages, they give up on themselves, they stop trying, they come home, they lay down, maybe they cook, they don't cook their best, maybe they have sex, they don't have sex their best, maybe they, you know what I mean? So it's like, because you know this person gotta be with you forever.
Is he dry snitching?
That's just good, that's just good. So look, if it was 10 years, at least year 7, year 8, somebody's like, oh shit, it's coming close. I gotta start ramping it back up. They're gonna start doing new stuff. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna go to Disney World, and that's what I mean. Guess that's what you want to do. You know what I mean? They might, you never know. Shit might change. 10 years.
Is it a minute per?
Let's say a minute, 2 minutes, yeah.
Minute and a half?
Alright, so who wants to jump in next?
I'll go next.
Are y'all scared? Are y'all scared?
No, I'll absolutely go next for that.
It
That's
doesn't matter.
That's
I'm
ridiculous.
gonna say what I gotta say.
I'll start. Let me start my timer. All right, so I'll say that's ridiculous. Yeah, a 10-year. This is why a 10-year contract is ridiculous, because there's a such thing as buyer's remorse, right? Now, right. So 10-year contract would incentivize, sticking things through, trying to, I guess, perpetuate loyalty, something like that. But at the same time, if you're with someone that's cancerous to you, and if you're with somebody that's bringing you down, if you're with somebody that is having such a negative effect on you that you can't fulfill your purpose in life, you shouldn't have to be with that person for 10 years. And how are we going to enforce that? Is it going to be punishable by jail time?
Hold on.
No, we're not. No, not. So, would it be punishable by jail time? Yeah. So, when you create a law, it can't be we don't really like that you didn't stay married for. There has to be a punishment. Now, can you punish somebody for doing what's best for themselves, which it should be legal?
Yeah, right.
Now,
let me say something.
No, is this a law or an option? What
No. It's not. I haven't thought about it that much, but this is what I think. The 10-year contract is like basically you can still get divorced in 2 years or 5 years if you want to. What I'm saying is, right? 10 years you get to leave scot free. None of all the crazy shit, not the divorce and paperwork. You're like, you know what? It was nice while it lasted. I'm not going to renew this contract.
What if it really wasn't nice while it lasted? What if it was a
then you might say that. You might be like, look, you gave it 10, you didn't do what you were supposed to do.
I understand where Danny's coming from.
Let's let Marvin.
So, for instance, my time in.
A minute and a half? What?
Is it a minute and a half?
Yeah, that's what you said, but go ahead.
I thought it was 2 minutes, but you stopped it.
Right.
I stopped you.
Well, you also stopped me at a minute, so then...
We'll get that minute back. Rebuttal.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, a rebuttal.
We're working here. We're moving.
Yeah, we can do that.
Sorry.
Rebuttal minutes. Anyway, I do understand exactly where Danny's coming from. Necessarily to put it on the contract means that you have to stay for that term or what have you. So, for instance, if you go 3 years in, like how you see with some of the marriages, shout out to Kim K, who had that one for like 30 days or something like that. Something like that.
That's probation.
Yeah, that would be a probation period. But to say that you have to be unhappy for 10 years, then you can't necessarily do that as a person because, like they say, you can't lose yourself in the midst of everything else. So if 5 years in and you realize the next 5 years, but think about it though. You're literally dying because you're committing somewhat of a suicide because you can't get out of that contract.
You guys are missing where it's not that you can't.
Were you done?
Yeah, I'm done.
No, it's not.
Sure?
No. I'm hitting it back to you guys. It's not that you can't get out early the same way you would be able to now. It's the same as it is now, except in 10 years you can just be like, all right, not renewing it. I'm good, and just walk away.
So here's the issue with that, and I'm reclaiming my time. So here's the issue with that. So marriage, if you have like a 10-year contract, right? That's fine and dandy. But there's always going to be things, stipulations within a contract that you can breach the contract, right? And so if you say 10 years for the contract, that you can get it out in between that time, right?
Yeah.
You know what we call that in today's time? Marriage. So there wouldn't have to be a 10-year requirement because it's already what it is. If you get to year 10, if you have an ironclad prenup, like you said, you can absolutely just leave.
You said a ironclad prenup.
It looks like the idea of the thought experiment is pretty much already being used.
But no,
everything, like everyone has a 10-year thing. You're saying instead of just off and on.
I just don't think that it's too far. I don't think it's far enough from the actual current institute of marriage that it would be worth passing a legislation for. But it definitely makes sense. It definitely makes sense.
I definitely understand where he's coming from.
Don't 10 motherfucking years and that's it.
No, I'm not.
But
my dick.
And see,
10 years and that's it.
Well, I was thinking was the danger that if we made it a law, and you may have a dude that knows that this woman can't go anywhere. Right?
No.
No, I know. I'm agreeing with you. I'm saying initially my issue with it was if you made it a law, this dude's knocking her block off and she doesn't even feel comfortable going anywhere because she's
using her or beating the pussy up. What are you saying? Knock her block off.
It could be either that.
I don't think anyone's ever texted a girl like, "Hey, what are you doing right now? I'm about to knock your block off."
Somebody somewhere has and never got that reply text. Never got the reply text.
Or he's in jail.
Never got the reply text.
I don't think you said anything about this.
I did, but see, as a host, when I've been watching a lot of these shows, that I ignite the conversation. I say what's important, but if you guys cover it,
You've been studying.
I've been trying, man.
You've been trying to study.
As a host,
is that what you were doing last night?
Yes. Let's go with that one. Next topic.
Next topic. Let's go to the next topic.
I was not masturbating, the monkey porn.
Monkey porn.
And zoom in on Danny's face. No.
There you go.
This motherfucker. All right, next topic.
Next topic.
I was watching Kill Bill last night, don't
You what?
And you guys are paying so much.
These are not the Kill Bills.
They are, sir.
Everybody has one kind of like a black and gold thing to do. Like, seriously.
I can't whistle.
You can't whistle?
Not like a motherfucker. That's the Kill Bill theme. If y'all listening, like, what the fuck are they doing?
Don't worry, we'll show you. We'll show you his pants.
All right. So, all right. So this question is, who would you, or who would be the Mona Lisa of our time?
Woo! What? Hold on. Mona Lisa was a painting.
Exactly. So who would be that Mona Lisa of our time?
What does that mean?
Based
Is
off
that your question?
A representation
Yeah,
of like beauty, like classic beauty.
Mona Lisa's not classic beauty though.
But she kind of represented like not mystique, but like subtleness.
I don't think so.
With the Mona Lisa wasn't necessarily the ideal woman. We've just
Exactly.
pop culture.
That's what I'm
man.
saying.
Some
All right. So let me put this. Let me
Taking
put
you
this.
first. All right, I start your time.
No. I was trying to help y'all with the question.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So based off of the question, the Mona Lisa of our time, based off of the picture that you go by, this woman, she's as simple as can be, not necessarily the prettiest, but not necessarily the ugliest.
I'm thinking.
So if you had to pick somebody who would be the Mona Lisa, this is for decades and years to come by. This is
It's like
monumental.
the symbol of what just all around the right thing is.
Like a perfect portrait or something. What the fuck?
I'm gonna go with the first. I'm gonna go with
Like
the
who?
first.
Like what female?
one.
Are we talking about contemporary art, or are we talking?
Yeah, I mean, like as an art, like
Or as a
like who
person.
would, who would be that? Yeah, I mean,
Who would be the new Mona Lisa? Maybe?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Who
Yeah,
would be the new
somebody.
Mona Lisa of our time? Like who's portrait?
Oh,
I got
we
one.
got somebody.
I got mine.
Be for years to come.
Who you got, Danny?
No, I'm gonna let him go first.
All right,
He's
wait,
gonna-
You go ahead.
I don't have anybody yet, so I'm gonna listen to y'all first.
All right, let me know what y'all think. And I'm gonna say the name, and then I want y'all to tell me what y'all think. I ain't gonna say what I think.
Minute 30. Okay, go ahead, sir.
Rosario Dawson.
It's not bad.
Ooh, not bad. That's a pretty.
That's a good one, right? That's a good one. It's like
That's a pretty good one.
As the Mona Lisa?
the Mona Lisa.
Hey, it's your Mona Lisa, brother.
No. We debating it. What do you think? What do you think about that?
No,
You don't like that?
All right, so give us
Hold on.
yours.
Do you not like Rosario Dawson?
I do.
Too many tattoos.
She's
She's not old enough.
She's into bondage shit. He ain't fucking with it.
What the hell?
All right, so who you got?
She is
I'm
into
curious.
this.
I'm actually curious to see who Danny is.
She is really though.
I cannot
Like,
think of her name.
You can't think of her motherfucking name?
Yeah, well,
What do y'all
he
think
had a
about
minute and a
Rosario?
half, and I was
Oh,
gonna
you
search.
got some more time left.
I don't
So
need it. I don't want it. I don't
No,
want it.
explain why.
Explain why,
Explain
why
her
Rosario.
cinematic.
Rosario, I just thought about what he said. When he was like painting his picture of what he thought of Mona Lisa meant, I was like, all right, who's not the prettiest, but not like this, but like timeless look and
Exactly.
feel
Timeless.
and like
Like a round the way girl.
can be around, can have sweatpants on, you know what I mean? Could be sexy, could be cute, could be smart, could be whatever, and probably we've seen. Marvin hasn't seen the pictures. He hasn't seen the pictures, but she got some BDSM pictures up. Based on what you said last week, I thought you may like that. So,
My God.
Hey, if you don't know what I said, you're gonna have to go back to the last.
So you said if you
The
the
last
last
one.
one. All right, so there you go.
Alright, so the buzzer app is not working. So, but
That was working pretty
like
good.
dead ass is not working. But
Oh, shit.
so, yeah. So
Upgrade.
if I had a little more time with the question, but I would say, if we're talking about thank you. If you're talking about what Mona Lisa is in terms of like just purely aesthetic, or what the art itself is supposed to represent, I think that somebody who embodies that, at least in what pop culture is supposed to be today, would be Lupita Nyong'o.
I know what you're talking about.
Because
that's a good one.
if I see her walking, I'm not like, oh my God. But when you hear her speak, when you know what she's been through, you know what she's done, the elegance she carries, it's like there's something about that if it was framed, I want that in my house. Like what she represents, what she represents, what she embodies. I would.
I on your shit,
I like that answer. Yeah, he gave it both spectrums too.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I like that answer. That was definitely on both
Aesthetic.
spectrums.
Is Lupita sexy?
Huh?
Is she sexy?
No, she's beautiful.
But is she, You know what I mean?
I think sex. The word "sexy" inhibits like a physical reaction.
It does.
I think "sexy" is more like, man, dog shit, something like that. But
more,
is he in the locker room? Talk?
No, I'm saying like the idea behind the word "sexy" is more aesthetic. So I wouldn't say she's sexy, but she's beautiful. Like she's like a jewel to be to be honored. Like you'd be honored to be in that presence. Right. Whereas you have a sexy girl that offers nothing outside of that, she's not beautiful to me.
Lupita's a money pick. That's a money pick. I like that.
All right, so only thing I do disagree is that I do think she's sexy and beautiful. But I think, yes. Oh, okay. I think it's time for Marvin to give his pick. So what do you want? We don't get it. You know, this one really caught me off guard.
Joe Rogan talks, yo.
I didn't talk. I'm a facilitator.
Who do you think? Who do you think it is? Who do you think it is?
I was really trying to put this off.
No,
I thought he was carrying.
You are part of this show, so we don't want you to listen.
Who would be? All right, so start my timer.
It started.
Who would represent? See, so also when I think. I don't know, man. If you're looking at where Mona Lisa came from, right?
And you're not allowed to see your wife.
Right. You're not allowed to say, of course, that'd be cheesy, too. But it came from almost the European perspective, right? That time in art, Renaissance period. So it wasn't really even representative of all people. So if I'm looking at someone nowadays who would be representative of all people, like a true American icon, which is a melting pot of all cultures, it would be my dick! My dick on the motherfucker's painting. My dick on the
We're not letting you off that easy, yo. We're not letting you off that easy, yo.
Michelle Obama. Yes. But okay, all right, so no disrespect to Miss Obama, but she's not
I like your pick.
She's not the most as soon as you see him, drop dead gorgeous, right? But she is pretty.
Michelle Obama has a really nice body, though, yo.
Yeah, but we ain't talking about body because Mona Lisa, from the shoulders up.
FBI guy,
you know what? That's not even a good one because really her accolades.
Actually, it still is though because
but we don't know who the fuck Mona Lisa was.
I don't think Michelle Obama is a good pick.
It wasn't a good one, so I fucked up on this.
It's the easy way out.
I think I agree with you.
Thank you. Come on.
You go. All right.
We'll give you another chance. Go ahead, Marvin.
I still love you, Michelle, but I fucked up. Sorry.
For me, you know what? It's funny because I thought about the question.
This shit fucking hard, dog.
But I never thought about it.
That's ridiculous.
But I guess because
it can't be a wife.
Yeah, right.
It's my wife.
It's so beautiful.
I'm trying to get brownie points.
Yeah.
All right.
I thought
that's a nice sweater you got question. Too, yeah.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
Hey, check your sweater out. Let me know.
So he's talking shit because the buzzer ain't working.
Right, it is. It is. I don't know. It's either got to be Eva Mendes for me or Rihanna.
Rihanna?
And Eva Mendes. Eva Mendes is a sex symbol. And so is Rihanna.
Yo, because Rihanna's
closer to like the screen painting.
That's the thing.
She's not the prettiest, but she's a sex symbol, bro. She's like Marilyn Monroe instead of Mona Lisa. I'm killing this shit today.
Ooh. I think I got it.
Yeah, fuck y'all.
I think I know who it could be. Who's the shit that used to mess with Wiz Khalifa and every other rapper?
Amber Rose?
Amber Rose.
That's not bad.
Amber Rose.
She's biracial. Right? That's true. Kim ain't too bad, too.
Kim is more than Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah.
If I had to say a Kardashian, then I would say
Kim Kardashian.
You don't have to say it. Don't say it.
I'm going with Amber Rose.
There's no damn way no Kardashian embodies Mona Lisa. I will rebuke you in the name of
you can't say
7 religions.
7 religions. We love our religions.
Hey guys, I want to hear some names, guys. I want to hear some names.
No. I think we killed this topic. I think we kind of already went over.
I think we all.
So it's either Lupita.
Lupita, if you're out there.
I feel Lupita. I like Lupita.
Yeah, I would give Lupita.
What the rest of the world like?
What about Janae Aiko?
No.
Not
Janae Aiko. Who's the other one? Janelle Monáe?
Oh, I did. That's a
motherfucker said. Look.
Woo! Janelle Monáe.
He's thank you,
Lord.
Help me, please.
You go with love something.
Oh my God!
All right,
like
so should women face?
That's how I know I wrote it.
You wrote woman?
No, I wrote women.
No, should women face repercussions for false rape allegations?
Woo! Hold on.
But we gotta put the example.
Example.
Hey guys, hold on.
I can't read that. Who the fuck is the example?
Brian Banks.
What was it?
Brian Banks.
All right, so if by any chance, real quick, we having not an issue, but maybe an impending issue coming up with our stream. If by any chance it fails, just try to log back in.
We're coming right back in.
Yeah, sorry about that. Appreciate it.
All right, so you guys, one more time, repeat it for me.
All right, one more time. Should women face repercussions for false rape allegations?
Motherfucking right. That motherfucking. No, listen.
No, you right. Go ahead.
I think truly. You can start the clock for me if you don't mind. I think.
Thanks for the questions, guys.
I think plenty of people's lives have been destroyed. Not even so much in the current era, but you see, some of the civil rights movement has exposed gentlemen of the African American race are going to jail for decades, coming out getting some little weak ass $100,000, $200,000, losing a bunch of their life, time with their family, their reputation in the community, and that person is either gone, as far as being dead, or they don't see that kind of penalty anyway. It's almost like a oops my bad type of thing. Yeah. So I 100% agree with it. I've had to actually talk about this years ago. I think they should actually go to jail. I think it should be, maybe not maximum security. How much time do I got left? Or something crazy. But if I do 30 years and it comes out that I'm 100% innocent, you don't just get to say oops my bad.
Right.
Yeah. That's not cool with me, man. So I don't know what the rule is after there, because you got so much stuff like mistaken identity, or so many different circumstances that could be why that person wrongly accused someone else. But if it's blatantly like it was a backstory to it and you lied to that person on purpose, there should be some kind of repercussion, and it should at least be a third or half of what that person experienced. I don't know. I'm just coming up with
Who wants to go next?
I'll go. So I guess I would.
Ooh, I did it under 130.
Yeah, I was good. I saw that.
I like that.
So I'll put the question into context, right? So instead of just, because we definitely don't want to victim shame, we don't want to discourage people who genuinely have, been affected to hesitate to go to trial, to put people to trial out of fear of repercussions. I would want to say that the real question is, for people who have been proven innocent after serving time, should those women be, have repercussions? So I say absolutely yes. So there was a story, Brian Banks. Brian Banks was an All-American football player, 5-star athlete, was going to USC, full scholarship, freak of nature linebacker, right? He gets accused by, a white woman at the time when he was in high school.
I knew it.
Yeah. Come on, dog. A white woman
He's not racist,
that said that, I will restart.
That's the worst.
I will restart my clock.
No.
So listen. All right. Brian Banks, right? He was accused of raping her. Dude wasn't in the same city. He wasn't.
Did he go to jail?
He went to jail. He went to jail at 17, got out when he was 26.
Jesus.
You know why? Because I think some school took his case. Some like law school, whatever. Took his case pro bono and fought for him and proved that he was literally not there. Right? And then she comes out and apologizes. I'm sorry that it never even happened. It never even happened. It wasn't like she picked the wrong guy. She had never been raped in general. So this dude comes out at 26. He obviously hasn't played football in more than 9 years. He's so physically talented. He gets a trial with the Jets, gets a trial with the Seahawks, but he missed 9 years. Yeah. So this guy loses his life, essentially. Like, the life that he was working towards, the life that he deserved. And she gave a teary-eyed apology. He hugged her because he found...
Shouldn't have hugged her.
He found, God or whatever in jail. Well, he found God or something in jail, and she walks away.
She got 10 more seconds.
Well, I mean, everything was cut off. But anyway, so she got to walk away scot-free, and now his life is forever changed. Like, he's speaking at seminars and stuff, but it's nothing to what he would have made as a linebacker in the NFL. And I think that the repercussions for not double the time.
I'm with that.
So it's the only place in modern society where you can steal something and not be penalized. If I stole a watch from you, I go to jail. If I stole money from you, I go to jail. These women are stealing men's time, their lives, their livelihoods, and their reputations, and are walking away scot-free. It's criminal. Absolute criminal. And I think before we can truly discuss equality, we have to discuss the glaring issue in it. So that's where I stand on that.
I like it. Nice. Thoughts?
All right. So the answer is easy, right? Absolutely, women who.
Well, people in general.
Absolutely, women who say they was raped and they were lying and they blatantly were lying.
Well,
they should absolutely face repercussions. However, I feel like we can't focus on that because even though that's the question, what you really need to focus on is like the problem. And the real problem is that women are being raped and fucked up and all that shit way more often than they are lying about it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's almost like if we focus on that, even in this topic question, then we're looking at Kaepernick kneeling rather than the reason why he's kneeling. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so, I'm not saying, I got 30 more seconds. I'm not saying that it's not a thing. And I'm not saying that the people who don't want Kaepernick to kneel, you know what I mean, they may be looking at it from their perspective and they saying like, you know, the troops fought for us and blah, blah, blah. But ask him why he's kneeling. You know what I mean? Not ask her why she's lying and shit, but the real thing is that women are being raped way, way more than they're like lying about being raped. So I just think we can talk about that. Of course they need to face repercussions, but like the other thing is way more of a situation.
Well, I think I'll say that to that. I think that's a false equivalency. So if we're saying that that's similar to the, you know, people getting upset with Kaepernick, I think it's more like that argument, which is valid too. Absolutely. That, you know, that's the rape culture is a much bigger issue, but I think that's an all lives matter statement. You know what I mean? You know, hear me out. By acknowledging that there is a bigger thing, you're discrediting a subcategory that needs to be addressed. That absolutely needs to be addressed.
Let's tie you in there. What you think about it, Mark?
So yes, women definitely need to see repercussions for those false allegations. Just because, like Danny said, touch on, I'll piggyback off of him. But there's no way that somebody should lose their life and by any means necessary. You can't get that time back. There's nothing you can do. There's nothing that anybody in this world can do that you can get back those years lost, that time with family, and who knows what possibilities could have came from within that time of being locked behind four walls in a jail, you know, in a jail cell. While that person is out there living their life wholesomely, and they can enjoy the experiences and watch as the world evolves, and they can evolve themselves. So yes, as they get repercussions, it needs to be doubled that time because that person can't get that time back, and you got a chance to live during that time that person was locked away. So you should do double. Period. I think there shouldn't be any other slack behind that. Yeah. You do double because this person did this. You got a chance to live. So now you do double that because you, first of all, lied about this person. Then you still got a chance to live during the duration of the time that person couldn't live their best life.
I agree.
Give them some time to your ass in jail and they're free.
Yeah,
exactly.
So, no, you free. I mean, you double because you get a chance to miss
because it doesn't
everything that they missed plus some because you lied about it.
I will double back. I'm gonna throw my penny in for it.
You had to throw it all the way. We're not playing poker.
Yo, when I'm playing spades, I throw my shot there when I know I'm about to win.
He thought he had ninja stars.
That's because you guys debated what I said. I did start out by saying it's an easy answer to this question. Of course, they do need to face repercussions. That's how I started it. And then I said what I said after that. So, of course, I agree that they need to face repercussions, but like,
I think that
you know what I'm saying?
I would say that
I got a penny on that too.
I say the car is broken down, right? Rape culture is a broken down car.
You gonna throw a penny in, or what the fuck we doing here?
Throw a penny in.
You got 30 seconds?
I thought it was a regular.
Throw a penny in.
I guess we're throwing pennies in. I haven't thrown any in.
You got a Steelers jersey on. You should throw 2 pennies in.
Well, because we're intellectually superior. But no, so silly.
He always does that shit.
Hear me out. So I'd say that I got you, though. Y'all just cut me off.
I saw your hands moving. I want you to talk.
So I'll say that the body of the car is rape culture in general, right? If their body's totaled and you have you have a flat tire, the flat tire still needs to be addressed before that car can drive.
Yeah.
And so to say that, you know, we shouldn't even talk about it because it's not the big body of the car, I don't think that's fair. But I'll double down.
We'll go with what you're talking about.
Absolutely taking my penny back.
We'll go with what you're talking about.
I'll take my penny back. So I'm gonna say because I had to take my penny back.
Would you fix the flat tire before you fix the other stuff?
Huh?
Would you fix the flat tire first?
Absolutely, you'd order. You wouldn't. So you wouldn't order tires.
Would you tell the person like, look, your tire is flat. I can go ahead and fix that for you if you want. You know what I mean? Or I can fix this. You would say. Okay. You want to pull it back?
No.
I'm trying to. So my main reason why, and I'm keeping this going.
Casual tires.
What I said to you, right?
I know all that shit. Hey, look.
Drop it down.
Yo, you better have a kid, yo. If you have a daughter and somebody rapes your daughter, you're not gonna feel strongly about that. That motherfucker.
Everybody touch your shoulder. I think we're good.
No. Listen. What he's saying is 100% valid. But I'm thinking to be purely on subject is what we were talking about.
Yeah.
If there is a penalty, it doesn't. I don't think that it limits the amount. And this is a post jail penalty, right? This is not just he goes to trial and then he has a great lawyer and blah 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 and gets away and you go to jail because you brought him to trial. That's bullshit. We're not doing that. We're saying if a dude goes to jail, right, serves time, only way that he's getting out is by biological tests, and they do some really deep digging.
He's got to pay for those appeals and everything. Real quick, the stream drops. So I just want to introduce
It's back on.
Yeah, but it's got to reintroduce it. Not safe for ears. We were talking about the topic of should women face repercussions for false rape allegations? Example like Brian Banks.
What is this for like 10 seconds?
You ad-libbed that.
But look,
go ahead.
We're getting good.
Look. All right. So like what I was saying, it won't discourage the women who legitimately have had that experience to go that route. It won't at all, because it's only if someone has done jail time and then biological tests have proven that they weren't there or they weren't even in the fucking city. Like it's stuff like that. It's very tough to get those appeals done and for the thing to be overturned.
You have to wait for that stuff to go through. Anyway.
Absolutely. So
and the money it costs.
But the people. But like you said, the very tiny subsector of women, it's a very small percentage. Yeah. But if you can get rid of that, if you can get rid of the person who's upset with the dude, so she says this, or her boyfriend caught her cheating and she says this about some an event that took place, you can get rid of that chick because she knows if he gets in trouble and it gets proven that he didn't do it, she's fucked. Then we can really solely focus on that. You know what I mean? But if and I'll go back to the broken down thing. You hit the layups first. Even when you're warming up for a basketball game, before you hit jumpers, you hit the layups first. That's a fucking layup.
No.
I'm one of the things, because we got to wrap it up. We've spent a lot of time on this topic. I do have one thing I want us all to think about with the same topic. The Me Too movement, right? So what if no one actually goes to jail, but let's say Mr. What's his name? Weinstein. He's proven to be Harvey, right? You lose your place within wherever you work in society, right? Like, so
that's not good.
What's the trade-off then? Then if the girl comes out to be a false accuser, does she lose her place wherever she is within her company, or how does that work? If it's not jail, you can't. Okay, I went to jail for 10 years, so you go. What if it's a different question? Yeah, so
I would say it would be the same thing. If the dude gets crucified in a court of public opinion, and
at this point,
if it doesn't go to trial, there's gonna be no proof that it didn't happen. So that's tough. But as a hypothetical, I would say hypothetically, if there was no basis to her claim, then should she be crucified in public opinion? No, because normally it wasn't really high profile people that would come out anyway. But she should be labeled as a liar. Which will last on Twitter for a day.
I was about to say, how do you label somebody as a liar who doesn't have?
Well, it's very hard because how many times do you hear a lie and then you perpetrate it over and over again?
Well, hey, man, I heard it has to be hypothetical.
And then you can't rewrite that. Your reputation sometimes precedes itself. So if you're labeled as a college campus rapist, and then it comes out behind closed doors that it wasn't the case, but it's still like, man, I believe that motherfucker did it. It's like, no, it's actually happening.
Whether they did it or not, it's still a thought process that goes through that person's mind that's heard about it or heard about that person.
Well,
so nonetheless, that person is still going to get any kind of look. Yeah,
you can go to jail, be vindicated of your crime, and people still say you did it. Like OJ. OJ did it though. No, hey, OJ. I watched the documentaries. I'm saying Nicole Kidman.
Nicole Kidman.
What's her name?
Nicole Simpson?
Who's Nicole Kidman?
Nicole Kidman is the actor, yo.
All right,
Nicole. One more time.
Anyway, next topic. It's been about 25 minutes.
We gotta get to another topic.
I talked for like 3 minutes. Y'all had like 85.
You the one that said you didn't want to talk?
No, I didn't say I want to.
Damn, I got like 3 of them stuck together. All right. Is Tom Brady the greatest quarterback ever?
Yeah, I like that one.
I like that one.
All right, so
Who started?
I don't know shit about football.
All right.
Who started?
I'll start this time.
All right. Yeah, let's give him all.
Is Tom Brady the greatest quarterback ever? Yes. Sorry. I hate the man. I can't stand him, but I respect him as a player. It's no reason why he cannot see championships, and then he.
And you play football too. See, I can say that shit.
Look, I don't know the difference. I
say
fuck it, I
KFC
don't
got
care.
championships.
He took them all the championships anyway,
Okay,
and
go
then he
ahead.
still got 5 Super Bowl rings.
Yes, sir.
So no other quarterback's done that yet.
He's been to 7, 1-5.
Yeah,
He's
so,
won 5.
He won 5,
And
been
not,
to 7.
and not including today?
So yeah, the day counts as what?
No,
If he wins, will it be 6?
Yeah, if he wins,
if
it's
he wins,
6.
it'll be 6.
Shit.
Yeah.
This will be his 8th Super Bowl.
This
So
motherfucker
there's
be
no
Michael
reason he
Jordan.
can't be labeled as that because his numbers show. Numbers don't lie. I mean, that's just point blank what it is. I mean, there's no reason where there's nobody else has done it. So yeah, so nobody else has done it, and until somebody does it or does it better, you can't take that away from him. No matter how much I don't like him personally, even though he's cheated and done all the other kinds of stuff and faced the repercussions and come back from a 4-game suspension and still take his team back. I can't argue with that. Like I can't argue with that.
If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. It's
better.
Very true. He
So
does cheat. He
who's
does
next?
cheat.
Who's next?
You next.
I have no thought on football.
How many times do you take your team from down 21, come back and win before they say that you're the greatest? That's it. That's it. That's the end right there. You know what I mean? He said everything else. You win, you win, you win, you win, and you win.
They made it a culture.
And today, if he wins again, which he probably will, another win.
Hope not.
And you come back from down 21. You know what I'm saying? That's just he's the greatest. He's the best quarterback. Better than Ben Roethlisberger. Better than
like how you
better than what's his name?
What, Trent Dilfer?
Not Trent Dilfer. Fuck Trent Dilfer. I'm
Yeah.
talking about the 75 Bears or whatever his name is.
Don't even mention
With the ball here. Better than Terry Bradshaw.
Huh?
Better than Terry
I like the way
Bradshaw.
Terry Bradshaw played too.
You did?
Yeah, Terry
You
Bradshaw
saw him play?
If not,
Oh, yeah, he was
if
in high
not, if
Young
not him,
fuck.
who else? Who will be your second pick?
There is no second pick.
Okay.
Tom Brady is
He's the
like
greatest.
Tom Brady's like Bruce Lee.
Well, I mean, minus the cheating allegations. If it was
Like
someone
in
who
the
said
third
was a clean quarterback and he could be a second pick if it came to find out he popped for some steroids or this cheating allegation was really
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady's like Mike Tyson, y'all.
You like Mike Tyson?
Mike Tyson.
What?
You can't compare. You
No,
can't compare
you
a team
can't do
sport
that.
athlete to a one-on-one fighter.
Not just that, but yo,
Tom Brady's like
What's your name?
Pinky
Just
the
the
porn
dynamics
star.
of the sports.
Is his name?
It's all right, but
Any-
it's a fun thought experiment.
Pinky the porn star.
You can miss you can
Hey,
have a
Hey,
block
if
miss.
Pinky the porn star is ever listening to this shit, go ahead, buzz me. Yo, please come on up. We had this conversation like 2-3 months before we even started.
This is
shit,
why we
bro.
knew he wouldn't respect the pennies. He's got no pennies. This soliloquy about to Pinky.
right. So if you want to get in his inbox, DM him.
You got buzz too.
No, DM Pinky the porn star.
DM this man.
All right, let's wrap it up.
Before the wedding, DM him.
What you want to say, Dan?
All right.
Get the fuck out of here. Yo.
Bring some facts. You got some
Last
facts. You got some hard facts to this. He drinking.
Go ahead, Dan.
Damn.
Your minute 30.
Oh, yeah. So,
Hold on. No, yeah, I guess you can.
all right, look. It's simple.
Not
Yeah,
saying,
it's
but he is.
It's very. If we're talking greatness, he is the greatest quarterback of all time. Best, no. Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is the most talented quarterback the NFL has ever seen.
At this moment.
Michael Vick may be more talented than Aaron Rodgers.
So, Aaron Rodgers is the most talented. Michael Vick couldn't throw a crossing pattern. He was a cannon arm and super athletic. He's a good quarterback, better athlete. Aaron Rodgers is a phenomenal quarterback and a great athlete at the same in the same body. He's just in a horrible situation in Green Bay where they don't give him any help. But I will say that Tom Brady is a great. You can't. How can you not qualify greatness and not talk about Tom Brady? I would say that there isn't no second, like you said. There's a close second.
Cool.
And the close second will be Peyton Manning.
Fuck out of here.
The close second will be
I don't
Peyton.
know about
Yeah, Peyton Manning. Okay.
Because Tom Brady, I love him as a player. I hate the Patriots because I hate Patriots fans. But Tom Brady himself, he's phenomenal. But he never had to call his own plays. He's never been in that situation. Peyton Manning was calling plays out of Tennessee. You know what I'm saying? I was going to college. But he was calling plays out of Tennessee at the line. So he's second greatness, but you cannot disqualify all that.
Penny, I got Penny.
There's no way.
Fuck that. You don't got no penny. Dirty. Give my goddamn penny back. Well, I think I used my penny earlier, so keep it.
No.
Go ahead.
I think
So next subject?
Next topic.
Ain't no damn way. This
Talking
nigga
about
got
these pennies.
these pennies. He got $1 in his pocket. He got $1 worth of pennies.
I got damn pennies out this bitch, so we playing CeeLo. Let's get it.
Like he playing what? What's that?
It's a black game. Yeah. You don't understand. It's like it's the money. No, I didn't say
it's
that.
an old black game.
No, it's not an old black game. It's just all right. It's something they play.
You went to Cowboy, you understand.
The motherfuckers play CeeLo.
You're right.
Yeah,
you guys are right. I was born in the 90s, so go ahead.
You were born in the 90s?
They still play it to this day. Don't let him fuck.
Yeah, because y'all still alive. Go ahead.
All right, question. Top. Young
Come on. Let's get the topics going, guys.
Topic. All right. For the motherfucker, I said, really? With no pennies? Where the buzzard at?
Go ahead.
The buzzard?
He said buzzard. It's a buzzard. I'll say buzzard. Fuck it. All right.
That's a good one.
I probably wrote that.
Some chicken scratch.
What's the first spectacles on, boy?
So, what's the first word?
These motherfuckers ain't prescription. All right. So why wasn't there any disciplinary? I'm guessing disciplinary action between the punishment for Janet Jackson.
Discrepancy
between the punishment for Janet Jackson and Justin Timberlake for the Super Bowl controversy.
Why does Daniel and everybody punish?
I don't even remember the
this whole episode's about punishment.
So this was your question, Dan? He needs some real. So this was Dan's question. Let him give us some more context of where this question derived from.
All right. So
was there a discrepancy between what?
So the discrepancy is basically different.
I just don't remember the actual punishments that were handed out for both people.
That's fair. So Jen,
yeah, I got it.
I don't forget what year it was, but it was like an infamous Super Bowl halftime show where Justin Timberlake. Should I start my timer or should am I?
You still
good? You just run.
Justin Timberlake unveiled her boob. You know, it was my wallpaper for a while, but so he uncovered he uncovered her breast, right? And it was a big deal. Viacom lost their damn minds. But the only person that ever was getting blocked was Janet Jackson. She was losing, her videos weren't going on MTV anymore. She got blacklisted, wasn't getting shows, wasn't getting appearances. Only appearances she was getting were one she had to pay for so she could go and apologize. And we had basically a dry spell of her until recently. I'd say still, Justin Timberlake's career didn't take a hit.
It took off.
Absolutely did. Janet Jackson and her team received a $550,000 fine for this. Justin Timberlake wasn't fined, but it was 50.
Double standard.
Absolutely. So the question is there a societal reason why there was such a big difference in the punishment of Janet Jackson and the punishment of Justin Timberlake? And we will begin with Nick.
Who said this? I think it's an easy answer. And him?
Yeah.
Old penny answer. Old penny still. Maybe white male privilege? Hey, check it out. Let's go back. He pulls the black titty out. No repercussion. Sounds like some presidential shit. Sounds like a slave master. Sounds like what the white man does. Not to become too racial, but I think there's some kind of correlations in there. To maybe someone of a lesser status racially. But it's also he gets the pass. She kisses ass. Spends cash.
Then dash.
But I think it might be some kind of like it's definitely some kind of privilege, right? So if you don't want to go the racial lane,
that's your stance.
It might be it could be also star power, right? Justin Timberlake at that time and even present day.
No.
Listen.
It was even.
I understand.
She's in the Jackson family.
She is a Jackson family, but how many young folk today, if you name Jackson, are gonna know Jackson family.
Before the sex stuff.
Listen, check it out. How many of these new millennials, whatever, if you say Michael Jackson, are really gonna understand and deeply interpret what Michael Jackson meant to the culture compared to like me and you or people older than us, right? You might have a peripheral understanding of, but listen, I don't think Michael Jackson holds as much weight as when I was young, moonwalking on the kitchen floor, compared to a kid born in the 90s.
Michael Jackson is an icon.
I was born in the 90s. You are terrific.
Michael Jackson's an icon, bro.
I think he's an icon.
I did the Thriller at like my 4th grade talent show.
With a towel.
You with a towel on? Okay, so let me just go back to the white male privilege. Exactly right? Maybe you got to speak on that. Maybe it was the difference. Well, I was interrupted a few times, so we go to that. I'm pulling my days. Are you guys finished? Maybe it was just the fact that he's Justin Timberlake, she's Janet Jackson. You got the race aspect, and you also have the white man ruling it all in a sense, and him not being penalized as much as the black woman.
If she pulled his joint out, if she pulled his man out,
a sock on it.
would he then have gotten the fines and all of this shit? What do you think?
You still talking, or you just?
No, that's it. That's it. You guys run.
Keep going on it.
That's an open question.
That's an open question.
Oh, so I'll answer it off time, but I guess it's still in your time, right?
No, I don't want to talk. Go ahead.
I like that point.
Yo, what's up with these guys?
Because I don't know.
I think so.
I like that.
I think it would be terrible if his
For
dick
him.
popped out.
He pulled his back. His shit just started swinging.
I think that's white man privilege aside. I think your dick pop out on that television.
That's actually a good question, but
it is.
So I'll put it like this: what you said it was white male privilege.
I'm just throwing it out there. I don't know if that's the case.
It's okay to make a stance, brother.
I think that could be a possible.
Just say it. It's okay.
That's my stance. I'm cool with making a stance.
I will say this. I'll start. I will say this. The gender identity and gender roles has changed significantly in the last 15 years, and so back then, like we're seeing a switch. Whereas in the Playboys of the early 2000s are now seen as chauvinistic pigs for doing the exact same thing. So, you take a Justin Timberlake, kid-faced, he's a pop star. You're talking NSYNC. We're talking major deal, right? Mm-hmm. But it was like he's just boys being boys back then. Mm-hmm. Whereas in women were still at that point, even after the Marilyn Monroe and blah blah blah, and what's her name, Madonna, we're still considered needed to be somewhat chaste and role models. And so whereas in guys were like, yeah, Justin, like at the same time we were like, oh my God, I can't believe she'd do something like that. So where there could have been some racial, I guess, parts in there, of course, absolutely, most likely.
Not 100%, but yeah.
Touch on my question.
But it did. I said that's interesting, but that's a tough hypothetical.
You think?
That's a tough hypothetical.
All right, can I stretch the question just a little bit, since I'm not trying to talk?
Stretch the dick question?
Stretch the dick question.
I guess you can stretch the dick question.
Make it hard, right?
Okay. If
my time was interrupted at 1:13.
You could get your time, and you can take my time too.
I don't know if you get rebuttals for 100 minutes, a minute and 30 seconds. I think that's just more like a quick
He didn't start. You didn't start at all? He's taking my time. All right. If she pulled his joint out and it hit his knee, is that different than if she pulls it out? And it's not even flapping in the wind.
It's a win. He's gonna lose some sponsors, but if this shit drop to your knee, my guy, on Super Bowl,
no, he may get some sponsors.
He might
ever since I switched to Axe Bodies.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Daddy. Finish your point.
I'll just finish by saying, no, I'm good.
Ooh, I'll take a little.
I'm not sure if it was as much about. It could have been. I mean, there's definitely some racial parts, but and at the time, it was still accepted for dudes to be
that way.
Overtly, overtly sexual.
Yeah.
And women were still being crucified for that.
Right.
Whereas now it's like the feminist movement has such evolved where it's like if a girl's a feminist. Yeah, but if a girl's a feminist and she's not having sex, she's almost frowned upon.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Feminism is dope as shit now.
It is.
But
there's still
feminazis.
Just celebrating.
Feminazis.
They fucking out here now.
Feminazis. The feminists or the feminazis, whatever you want to call it.
Feminazis.
outside of the I'm saying like the extreme feminists.
Yeah.
Outside of the court of law, have been the best thing to pig ass dudes in decades. Because it's like they're almost like, you have to have, you have to be open, blah blah blah. But if that was the mentality back then, I think she walks away scot free. That happened in 2017, and that had never happened. There was no precedent for it. It would be like, yes, sis.
Yeah, I think so.
Yes.
That's true.
Yes, but that's not what happened back then.
Did you touch on that?
No, I didn't.
All right, so Mark, what you think?
I forgot where to start. Where to start at?
Question. We can go question if you like.
Between Janet Jackson and Justin Timberlake getting a repercussion or a punishment or whatever the case is. Yeah, I think that part than anything. I mean, I think that race could have had a significant touch to it, but I think it's more so about the sexuality of it, like you said. Years ago, when that first happened, when we were still trying to be able to have, be able to be open sexually and stuff like that without being frowned upon and without being, discarded or whatever the case is, or you're a tramp, you're a slut, you're a hoe, being labels and everything. So I think that had a bigger part to do with it than anything else, where they were like, yo, this is the Super Bowl, and you pop those.
You had
any further elaboration? I want to make sure you get all that.
So pretty much I think that, it was based off of that, and I think if Justin Timberlake dropped his shit, whatever the case is, he should still face repercussions.
But would he? If it was in the same time area and it was in the same time area,
I think that I think he would have received some definite backlash.
The same type of backlash?
I think he probably would have received the same type of backlash. The reason why I say that is because kids watch these Super Bowls and stuff like that. So they would have had to have done something. They couldn't have just let him slide off the hook without anything.
But then would she have faced the backlash with him?
Yeah,
probably.
She would have faced the backlash with him.
But if it was hitting at his knees, you had to literally reach in.
I mean, not if he had on what was the
breakaway pants?
Yeah, breakaway.
So you say that ball swinging in the air.
Listen, the white man stock and the common community, like how you think of white men, second up to everyone else as far as Dick Langston.
I know.
He the one.
I don't think
if you read any kind of papers or
he would have been
scroll on Twitter. You stay up late at night and think about the size of the average man.
He made Man in the Woods like 10 years ago.
He didn't put the white man on though. The white man would have came up.
Topic. We got one more topic. We got time for one more topic. Let's give it a round of.
Look, I tell you what. I did put this timer on my phone in general for the whole podcast. So, motherfucker, y'all interrupted me during my whole fucking 30 seconds anyway.
I feel like
I'm still getting to pick the topic.
I'm gonna go back and watch
You and that bug.
You gonna start with the question too.
I don't give a fuck about answering the question first. I'm just saying. I was letting y'all know that. Anyway,
Feel like a
fuck Danny and that bug.
Feel like a professor.
What? Muscle ratio to pussy ratio.
Hold on. You gotta give it a second.
Wow.
Please. Can you please?
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
So we're still live on YouTube.
Yeah.
Right now we're going over
now live
the last topic. Not
last topic.
Marvin's gonna read that topic.
We're gonna say it's the last topic.
Yeah. It's the because we've been doing this for.
Should I explain this jersey at all? Or just
because I put an alarm on for like.
No, it's just. Let's do it after
minutes, 20
after the topic.
Yeah. So we finished with the topics and then from there we just gonna fuck around. So anyway, so muscle ratio to pussy ratio. What?
Muscle ratio.
Is that a question?
This is my topic, guys. This is my topic, guys.
This motherfucker be taking shits and be like, thoughts. Hold up. His blunt takes shit.
Let me set the question.
Come up with a question. You was on the toilet for about a half an hour thinking of that one too. I'm a kid.
This wine is good as shit.
Is it?
Take some of this. Taste the shit.
Come on, get some Big Danny.
Yeah, I brought
Big
it.
Daddy.
I said Big Danny. Whoa, but I'm glad you asked that. I called this motherfucker Big Daddy. Big Danny.
Yeah, I'm glad you did kind of clear that one up because I kind of
maybe
like
someone heard sounded like that, yo.
It did kind of sound like that, but
Big Daniel.
I love it when you call me Big.
That was a good one. All right, so explain this question.
Oh wow.
Statement: muscle ratio to pussy ratio.
So explain real quick what the fuck you
Yeah, we need explanation and clarification on.
You got 30 seconds.
Eyes, guys, eyes. If y'all haven't seen that shit, that was Diddy. But listen, muscle ratio to pussy ratio, okay?
Mm-hmm.
the more muscle, if you a string bean ass dude, right, and you start to work out, you get muscles, girls start to like you more. There's got to be at some point a threshold you hit, right, where more muscles may not help you, but it may start to hurt you with the ladies. What's the correct muscle to pussy ratio? The Goldilocks zone.
This is probably real cool.
The Goldilocks zone of muscle to pussy ratio. Is it where Marvin is right now? You know what I'm saying? Is it? Ho. Come on, go ahead.
All right, do it. Hey, it'll be great for a screenshot of this butt ass naked. I'm gonna leave though.
No, I'm not doing
What the fuck are we doing here?
Not at all.
All right, so let's go to Marvin Page if you wanna, ladies, get moist over this motherfucking ab 6 pack.
Moist, yo, his girl gonna fuck you up.
You're not gonna answer back to the replies, are you? Good.
No,
so,
I'm not.
who's gonna jump in? He's further clarified.
He said
moist.
moist. He said moist. No, I'm done.
I think he's coming first. You got it? Dan, start your clock off, big dog.
All right,
Big Daniel.
I would say that I was definitely.
Yesterday,
I would say that instead of you said muscle pussy ratio. That's funny. I think it's more complicated than that. I think it's more like an algebraic equation. So it's like
It is.
So like almost like physics, something like that, where you have to do it's muscle to body fat percentage. To pussy ratio. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
muscle pounds of muscle. That's still a lot of muscle. 200 pounds of muscle and you're 250 pounds. You're a big dude, but you're not shredded to the core.
Let me add a wrinkle.
Let's just literally have no pain.
I'm sorry. Let me just add a wrinkle.
Let's say love of God.
No, because I want your opinion. I want your opinion. Let's say the bigger you are at 10% body fat.
This is becoming a math course, and I'm in third glass of whatever the fuck I've been drinking.
So, can we start my time?
No, you got 40 seconds.
What you saying makes sense.
So you got the rest of your
What
time.
you saying makes sense.
No, because he changed the question. I got to change.
Don't even include that shit. Just go ahead. I like where you were going with it.
So muscle the body fat.
I'm fired.
Muscle the body fat percentage, and to pussy ratio, right? Muscle size body fat percentage to pussy ratio.
Yeah.
I think that if you're 180 pounds and you have 150 pounds, 140 pounds of muscle, right? That's good. That's cool. Maybe if you want to talk percentage, if you're 140 pounds and you're but if you're 180 pounds and you're 10% body fat, that's a cool look, right? Girls like that. You're not big by any means.
Give them an example of what that would look like.
Okay, let's say
if they don't know this ratio.
All right, let's say 5. What's the average guy? 5'9"?
5'10".
5'7".
5'9".
I was gonna say 5'8", but
say you're like them and you're 5'7", and you're 180, right? So 180 and you're 10% body fat, right?
Yeah,
that's a cool look. That's you have abs, you have comfortable abs. Nice definition, but you're not a hulking figure by any means, right? Now, if you take that person that's 5'7" and make them 230 at 10% body fat, he's a big motherfucker. So we're talking traps coming out more. We're talking about bigger shoulder caps, and I think you're right. There's absolutely a point where you get past. Oh my God! Oh, you work out. Oh my God, he's shredded. Boom, 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 boom. And then when you hit this point, only dudes really give a shit.
I want to tie that into something else. You motherfucker read my mind.
No girl's ever, unless she's like a fitness girl, no girl's ever been like, yo, the way your rear delts, the way your rears connect to your lats, and then they travel down, oh my God. And then it ties into the back of your hip flexion, oh my, you're a work of art. Only dudes say that, uncomfortably. Only dudes.
Let me jump in here. And I'm gonna toss it to one of y'all.
That was really good. I'm sorry I cut you off because I like where that was going.
Yeah,
I like where you were.
He's about to hear some old.
I just didn't want you not to hit on that one point that I was really trying. But you hit that and more, so I really appreciate it.
So, through a lot of my pollings that you guys have all participated in, a lot of ladies, it looks like they really don't give a fuck about the muscle. They do want you to be somewhat physically fit. They appreciate, the time you take and maybe a nice 6-pack. But you don't have to have an 8-pack with obliques and all this crazy stuff, right? It becomes somewhat of a circus thing to them. But what you were saying, Danny, was a real good point. It becomes to a time where in your muscle production, right, where you're like, it's more guys. You're doing it for the approval of men. Hey, man, I deadlift 1,000 pounds. Like girls, they go and get these fucking eyelashes and this weave. A lot of times we don't give a fuck about that.
Yeah.
It's hair tied, clean face, no makeup on, swept, real clean shit, right?
Yeah.
But if they go to the club, they worry about what dress they got, what kind of makeup. So this whole ratio thing, if we can also tie in this subject, is it more important to men to look a certain way for their male counterparts? Is that the truth?
No, I go back to primal nature, like a lions and
it's an alpha. I call it the alpha male syndrome. I'm pretty sure you guys have heard me say it, just because of the simple fact you never heard me say alpha male syndrome.
Are you an alpha male?
But those glasses allow you to say that motherfucker 100% conviction.
You look like Spider-Man before.
Are you an alpha male?
Clark Kent.
All right,
are you saying this from the perspective of an alpha male?
No, I mean, well, I would consider myself an alpha male just because I have a mate already, but I have a beta. But to a certain extent, the reason why I say alpha male syndrome to a certain degree is because when you put a bunch of lines in one den, typically there's only one male line for a pride. For a pride of 8, 9, what? So once you stick a whole bunch of male lines, and for instance, we're in the gym. Your testosterone level automatically raise just because you're around a bunch of males
and fat asses. It's been signed. But fat ass coming in. I think I last 2 reps.
Exactly, that is true too. But it's
not me though.
But that's why I call it the alpha male syndrome, because when it's a bunch of males in the same area, the testosterone goes up, and it's not by any means of competition or anything like that. But it's just
sometimes.
But yeah, it can be.
I compete with you all the time. You just don't know yet.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, not
I didn't realize by
I'm
how many
like,
times
I hit 24 pull-ups.
Who can beat your dad? All right, so
nobody.
Let's go back to the real question. Do you think it's a perfect Goldilocks zone?
Yeah,
muscle fat pussy ratio.
Yeah, I think that at a certain level, that once you reach a certain peak or whatever the case is, then once you go beyond that, females are not gonna be your pussy.
What is that peak? What do you think? Like,
what's the peak?
No more than this, and you straight.
I think that once you surpass that lower than 7% body fat, and you're technically speaking at an obese ratio for your height based off of muscle.
Yeah.
If you're at obesity too based off of your muscle, just because you're 5'8", and then like me, I'm 165, 170 pounds, but if I were at 210, 220, that would probably be a little old fucking D. So yeah,
I like old fucking D.
Yeah, so you can definitely OD on the whole muscle tip. I mean, and to a certain level, only dudes are gonna really be like, I see you in the gym, da 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 da. Like, to be honest with you, I probably no homo, but I probably get more compliments from guys than I do females.
I do that.
To be honest with you.
You get more compliments from guys.
I would say the ideal to widespread appeal, if we're going off the average height of, it's just 5'9".
5'5". I'm actually above average.
So if we're going off like the average height of a dude, right? I'll say that the most widespread appeal, 5'9", probably be about 180 pounds, around 12 to 15% body fat.
I think that's right.
Yeah, I think 12% body
fat. That's a muscle.
Hold on, say that again.
I would say if we're talking about the average, the average height guy, just 5'9", I think the ideal widespread for like chicks, if we're just talking about like getting pussy, would be about 180 pounds and between 12 and 15% body fat. Anything higher, you can't see your abs. Anything lower, you look like a tool.
Yeah, I'm with that.
Yeah,
I'm with that a lot.
He's got the perfect Goldilocks zone.
He did.
What about how tall are you?
Huh?
What about how tall are you?
Around I'm like 6'1".
Alright, so at 6 feet tall, he
added on the goal.
What's the Goldilocks zone at 6 feet tall?
Goldilocks zone, probably I'd say as just a regular dude. I'd say about 6 foot 215, 220 are still around 15%. That's you're a large guy to 90% of the population.
Terrell Owens, maybe. Is that 6'2"?
He's 6'6".
But he's way.
He's about 230.
Yeah,
I don't watch football.
Terrell Owens might walk around at like 7%.
Woo! Fuck him.
Yeah.
Hater.
All right, so trust me. The only people that care about My 500 bench dudes.
Yeah, look, that shit impressive.
That shit is impressive.
Well, girls they don't understand it. They don't lift weights to the same. They don't understand that mass. That feels like.
If a dude has abs,
this is where life inside the gym comes in.
Whereas like someone that looks like Marvin, right? A chick, if she comes in the gym and he had like an 8-pack, right? And he's doing anything over 2 plates, she's like, oh my God, he's a tank.
Strong. Yeah.
Okay,
is Mike the trainer?
2 plates is more valuable
How far above the Goldilocks zone?
They don't understand it.
How far above the Goldilocks zone is Mike Tucker? At Mike the trainer on Instagram.
Oh, Big Mike! Big Mike! Mike don't get no love. They don't like that shit, Mike. See, they come to my page and look at my man boobs and say, that motherfucker's dedicated. I think it goes right back to what we were saying. I think Mike is probably right there at that threshold. If not, like he's going down. If he gets any bigger, Mike become like, like, is he gonna beat my ass to a girl? Like, I think I've talked to girls who say all that muscle. They think fearful. It's like, what happens if this motherfucker loses control? It's no way I can defend
I would say that.
Shout out Taylor Hebron.
Girls told me that they were more.
Shout out this girl, smart man.
I was told. Girls said I was more intimidating as like a dating partner back when I was 240 than now.
Because they could see it maybe more.
Because I had veins coming out of my neck. Everything just looked. I looked shredded.
They don't even know you're stronger now.
Huh?
They don't even know that you're stronger now. You stronger now?
Yeah, because I cared more. But but I would say it depends on what you're looking for. Like if we're talking about the regular basic, doesn't go to the gym chick, then yeah, he'd probably be a bit much. But for a girl who's in the gym that appreciates that type of work ethic,
because that's a lot of work ethic. I mean, we put in a lot of work in that fucking gym.
In and outside.
What's he like 240? I guess. Maybe?
He's not 240. He's probably like 220.
No, 215. I think Mike is around like.
He's not 240. Yeah, he's 215.
Yeah, he's like 215, 210.
That's right. That's
right. He said he was coming down a little bit.
And he's about what? He's 6'1".
Mike, we trying to figure out how.
So that's
hey, Mike, hit us up, bro.
Let us know how much you weigh, Mike. We talk about the next episode.
Yeah. But,
talk about how much he weighs?
Y'all motherfuckers talk about you already know. He's 250.
I'm gonna go out of my way. Talking to Mike.
No, you guys talk to the
side.
Okay. I'm going to go out of my way and be like,
y'all told me that like 8 times.
That I was made extremely uncomfortable when he brought up a man in this conversation. Particular dude. But that's all
sorry,
motherfucker.
Alright, so listen, I have this jersey on. You guys explain to me, or explain to the viewers, who this jersey represents. Like,
this whole segment was about putting your hands on females.
Punishments.
And if we agree with it or disagree with it, if you wear the jersey, then you should agree with it.
And you motherfucker, that's not whose jersey is this? What's the name of the guy?
Yo, you ain't say that, yo.
If you guys aren't aware of what happened a few years ago, right? Ray Rice was involved in an altercation in the elevator with a significant other. Since then, it's been pretty hard for him to find any kind of work within his field of preference, which is football. So a question we didn't get a chance to get into, but I thought would be a good finisher, would be if you are accused, rightly accused, right, of physically abusing your spouse, male or female, when is it okay in a court of public opinion, damn, I'm tired of all this stuff, for you to return to your field of study, work, whatever? When is it okay for you to get that quote-unquote
your exile
pass? When is your exile up? Ray Rice, what do you guys think?
That's a tough. Are we talking just in general or sports?
In general. Well, let's start off with sports because Super Bowl. We can start with sports, and then you can tie in.
Sports is always going to be tough for that, especially when you talk about football shelf life of running backs.
4 years.
It's just not. It's just not gonna. It doesn't work. And if it was Adrian Peterson. And
it was Adrian Peterson.
No,
what's up with you?
It's. There's in any business thing, so we can even talk about like the coolest monkey in the jungle thing. But in any business, you have to look at the SWOT analysis: strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats. Is this risk reward there? Mm-hmm. Now, are you going to be a team like the Dallas Cowboys that maybe need a backup, right? Or a team like I don't know, whatever. The Patriots that can use a smart backup. Is bringing him in at 30 years old worth everybody hating you? Now, if it's Adrian Peterson at 28 and he got suspended at 24, had to do 4 years off the game, you may take that shot. Because what he could do on the field may be bigger than what he actually did. But for the regular person, football stuff. Basketball, that could be better because an issue of, listen, I'm sorry, it'll never happen again. I've changed. I've done my time on volunteering at women's hospitals, blah, 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 blah. And he could be back in the league in 2 years, 2-3 years, because you know, if he's a hooper, he's a hooper. NFL was tough, and they're just looking for reasons to get rid of guys.
You were saying the inability to practice all field at the same level. That was good. That was a good point. It's harder to do it in football compared to basketball.
Yeah, because you can go to basketball courts, and there's guys that haven't made it to the NBA. Yeah,
the Drew League games are better than a lot of NBA games. So Drew League. So no, it's a real thing. So, the Drew League. So when it's even comparable. So and then. If you do say, you know, I'll play Canadian League, right? You could get hurt. Now, the risk reward for you to get back in the league is really not worth it.
Right. Did you want to speak on that? What do you think?
So, as far as the exile,
is there a shelf time? Is it like a 5 years he's good, or once he completes a certain amount of charitable, services, he's good? What do you think about that?
Particularly since exile could be just based on earn. It may look like it because they're trying to get back into that, so they're willing to push the envelope to get themselves back into that field of work. But I figure that based off of psychiatric evaluations, based off of a lot of different things that they want to do as far as off-site or outside of that actual field to try to get back into it. Yeah, they're gonna have to pull some tough strings. I think that maybe a minimum of at least 5 years. Maybe
5 years.
Does anybody know what Greg is doing right now?
Does
anybody know what he's doing right now? Is he coaching? Is he coaching?
I have no idea.
I have no idea.
But even still, he doesn't.
So how long would it take
now.
you to feel okay wearing a jersey?
Oh, that's the thing. I don't know about all that.
I wore the jersey for the sake of conversation.
But it still comes down.
I don't even watch football, bro.
See, that's the thing. I can't really put a time on it. To be honest.
Well, the video doesn't help. The video doesn't help. If there was a video, I'll put it like this: if there was a video of Mike Vick, flamethrowing the dogs, he would never have been back. The issue is that the thing that benefited him is that it was almost pure conjecture. Yeah, and so they knew he was doing it, but there was no video of him doing it.
Right.
There got and then again it goes back to talent.
Even doing it. It was his cousin that was doing it, and then it was at his house.
He's putting the money up.
Yeah,
come on, bro. Come on.
Like somebody murdering somebody in your basement.
Listen, listen.
I know.
We don't gotta say he's innocent. We got OJ. We already
got OJ.
We already got.
We gonna take that nigga. We gonna take that.
To this day, we still winning.
No, but seriously.
But then he went back to jail.
Yeah. But it goes back to talent, risk, and reward.
Yeah.
Because there's a dude that literally had several cases of him basically telling his wife to put the gloves on, and I forget his name is they call him the Kraken. He played for Carolina.
They call him the Crackhead.
Kraken.
Oh, Ray Caruth?
No.
Oh.
They call him.
He played for Carolina. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
No, I'm not trying to find. I think it's a fighter who had a story similar to that, and he's now an MMA fighter. I'll get back to the name.
Yeah. Damn. So, but
McGregor said, "Fuck, I don't go in there."
Yeah. So when he was with Carolina, he was widely regarded as one of the best, maybe top 3 defensive ends in all football.
Bret Hart is nice.
So they said he was beating the hell out of his wife.
Everything.
He was beating the hell out of his wife. Several cases. Dude was doing time. When he's free, Cowboys were like, "There's no video. Nobody really knows him. We can get it for a cheap price."
Damage control gonna be easy.
And get Greg Hardy. He sat out.
He ain't got no video.
Yeah, sat out for like a month. Came in, was killing it. Then he got, it's just.
So it's no set time. It's more of a circumstantial thing.
Yeah,
it's fucked up.
It comes down to the value of the player and the court of public opinion. People forgot about Greg Hardy. You can't forget that video.
Yeah, that video just replay, especially in the days there when he clocked
his ass. I was like, yo, that nigga. And I like Ray Rice a lot.
She did spit on him.
I got another surprise,
but still, at the same token, I can't.
I'm not saying he should have clocked him.
He shouldn't have clocked him.
If he spit on him, if he spit on her back, would that have been even Steven?
Yeah.
No, that's disgusting. Regardless, listen, you don't respect others because they respect you. You respect others because you respect yourself.
Would he have got back into the game if he just spit on her? If he spit on her and that was out, do you think it wouldn't have took 5 or whatever years to take?
He wouldn't have been out the league.
No, listen, this is what he should have done.
He slept.
And Ray,
what should he have done?
If you're listening, and you're watching this,
you have a time machine,
and you could go back in time, this is what you should have done. You were a millionaire, one of the top. I really like you as a player, so I'll say top 10 running backs in the game.
I was gonna say top 5.
He was coming off a horrific season. Y'all showing your knowledge right now.
Yo, but
the Ravens are already trying to unload him. They were gonna trade him for a Budweiser and 2 Butterfingers, dog. So anyway, but not even cool. This is what you should have done. You were a top 10 running back. You were getting paid as you should have. She was your girlfriend. She wasn't even your wife. And when she spit on you, the best revenge you could have taken was to leave her ass. That's it. The best revenge you could have done.
You love that girl, yo. What the fuck?
Also,
they still together.
Alcohol was probably a factor. You gotta understand how it affects the frontal lobe. You don't just react accordingly. Like you don't just say, "Oh, you know what? I'm just gonna leave."
Not only that,
sometimes you just explode and fucking end. She probably.
I fought dudes during I was drunk, but I never
fought a female. Right, exactly. So you gotta understand.
I think we all.
And I hate to say it, yeah, but he.
The best revenge you could have got.
If a man has hit a woman, he's done it before.
It was too much going for him to let that be his.
The best revenge you could have got from her spitting on him was to leave her in that.
Or to just.
Everybody just go back and leave her ass. Don't hit her.
Go back in time, brother.
Hey, I got a surprise again. It's my mother-in-law's birthday.
Oh,
damn, I need to pay for this. God damn. Well,
I still got 3
people do live.
I still got 3 pennies.
Auntie died, I'll tell you that one.
Listen up.
So can we get a happy birthday to her? She's probably watching. She's been watching every episode. She's a fan of each one of you.
Hey, mama.
She agree with you. Sometimes she likes you. So she really likes you guys. Her name is Lisa.
Sometimes
she likes everybody.
No, you said sometimes she agrees with you. Sometimes she likes you.
And then I pointed to you.
And you said sometimes.
Yeah. Well, everybody gets so much. All
sometimes what?
Sometimes she likes you too.
You didn't say that.
You didn't say that. You said sometimes. You said that.
Okay, calm down. It does it for me.
People like you.
If we can sing a quick happy birthday.
I'll put it like this.
Everybody give Denzel a shout out.
What's
Join the DM.
Can we sing a quick happy birthday?
What's her name?
Lisa.
All right, Miss Lisa.
Miss Lisa.
Moving forward, there should never ever be a time that you agree with them over. I feel like we should just put that out there. I'll sing. But moving forward,
is your phone ringing?
Yeah, because that was a timer for an hour and 20 minutes, just in case we decided we was going over.
All right, let's give her a quick happy birthday.
So I mean, we got 5 more minutes.
1, 2, 3.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Miss Lisa. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you for bringing your.
Who's your favorite person
now?
Who's your favorite
person
now?
Who's your
Who's
what
your
you
favorite
gotta say?
person now?
What I gotta say?
Who's your favorite person now? Oh, yeah.
3 pennies.
Shout outs, maybe?
Yeah, we gonna get right into them.
Shout out Mike Actually, yo.
What?
He got you like 800 likes on the video that I posted.
Oh, you talking about? Because Mike. Thanks, bro. I'm
going to cut you off right there. So
damn.
Check the page. You see Marvin dancing. Good moves. Good moves.
Thanks, I appreciate it. Look, I ain't know none of them dance moves. If I would have stayed in there maybe like 2-3 more minutes, I would have got it. But anyway, shout out to these fellas that I'm working with. These guys are the realest I've ever seen. Danny, definitely opinionated dude, holds no bars, but he will give it to you real. Denzel, wild card. Same with Nick. He's a wild card. Unfiltered, uncensored. You never know what's coming out. But I absolutely love doing these podcasts. So if you can tell a friend to tell a friend, we're on here 12 p.m. Sundays.
Every Sunday.
Shout out Greg.
Sunday.
Shout out my man Greg in the gym.
Greg.
Shout out Greg.
Shout out Greg. Just shout out Greg.
Hey, yo, hashtag free Greg, yo. We holding down on the outside.
Free Greg. Hashtag free rub downs for any girl that wants them. Holla at Greg.
Damn.
That's what he likes to do.
He does do rub downs.
That's what he does.
Okay, well, whatever. Shout out to all the people who've been following along and look, participate in these. And I know Nick does polls. I know Denzel. Check out his post. Danny, check out his post. We all are. Yeah, I said
we're relying on your feedback to make this show better.
Yeah, we need your.
We want to make it better. We
definitely want to make sure that we keep the podcast going.
And if that means one of us has to go and replaced by somebody better, that means somebody's gotta fucking go.
Guys, listen,
I ain't moving shit.
Listen, I'll say this. I don't care what you guys say. There's no way I'm gonna do this podcast by myself. I don't think That's the route.
This motherfucker. Yo, he fools me every time. I'm like, oh, he about to drop. Oh, this motherfucker. Anything you want to say, Danny, since you got your shout outs on, and you want to shout out to wife?
Sir Patrick.
Shout out to your wife.
If I whispered it to the motherfucker, you know, shout out your wife.
Yeah, shout out
to
my wife.
Podcast, yo.
Baby due May 12th. Shout out to Sir Patrick, Two-A-Day, TK, and Legend Fit. Everybody who's been watching the podcast, my brother, Flawless Touch Detail.
Shout out that girl in the gym with the big titties that Danny been looking at for the past 3 weeks.
Make sure y'all go check out my brother's page, man.
You just won a Grammy,
little brother and everything.
I know, nigga, what music.
Who want to give out shout out?
Hey, I did. Hey, fuck y'all. I had 3 pennies left.
You did.
Bang! And we're gonna end it on that note.
Bang! All you bitches.
Well, that's it. we gonna go this week. We gonna go this week, Danny.
Y'all get no dabs. Y'all be shouting motherfuckers out throughout the whole thing.
I ain't shouting nobody. I ain't shouting nobody.